What's up, everybody? It's your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different, back with another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made this simple lo-fi hip-hop type of beat. Before I get started, I am not no lo-fi hip-hop specialist. I mean, there's other channels out there who do lo-fi hip-hop in better detail and better, I'm just gonna show you how I did a basic simple version of it. I definitely suggest checking out other people, or check out my boy DJ Ab. He does a lot of lo-fi stuff and he's really good with that. Comes to the lo-fi sound and all that, so shout out to him. But I'm gonna show you guys my take on lo-fi hip-hop. Hopefully I give you some ideas and inspire you to try something different, because I've been on beat block for a while and I decided to get away from the trap stuff. I'll try something different and dabble into some R&B and hip-hop and stuff like that to kind of just take my mind off all the trap shit I've been doing lately. So let's look into how I made this beat. Like I said, it's very simple, very not really complex, but that's a good thing about lo-fi. Lo-fi, it's just, the lo-fi genre is just real. The reason I like it so much, I actually enjoy it, is because you don't have to be really good at mixing or making beats or whatever. It's really the feel, the atmosphere, the grit, the grind, just that type of low fidelity. That's what lo-fi stands for, sound. Like it's being degraded over time. Like it's constantly being processed over and over and over until it just breaks apart. And that's the great sound about lo-fi. That makes it just sound really good. So we're gonna definitely check out this beat. So let's go to how I made it, what I did to kind of get that kind of old vintagey type of sound, all that good mess. So first off, we're gonna start off with the piano, because that's what I started off with. And I'm using the Omnisphere piano, of course, because why not? It's Omnisphere. And I'm using Keyscape, and I'm using the Wash, the LA custom C7 Wash piano. This is what it sounds like. Now the chords, I try to go for, I don't know, I just kind of played it randomly, just kind of played it out, and just did some random chords and just kind of adjusted as I go. So there's no method, there's no like thought process when making it. But I did use a C sharp minor, to start me off with, and I just kind of play from there. It just kind of play like some kind of old school, vintagey type of, I don't know. It just, I was just playing around with it, and it came up with a cool little repetitive chord, because it's hip hop, keep it simple. What I did to the sound though, let's see, this is what it sounds like without the processing. Now that sounds a lot cleaner than, see, I'm gonna show you how I got that kind of out of tune sound. So first I would cut some of the highs, because I just use a low pass filter to cut the highs, just to kind of take some of the edge off the high frequencies, the high frequency content. But the way I got that kind of out of tune piano sound was using a chorus effect. I'm using a fruity chorus because it's a free chorus, and any chorus effect work. The main thing is to get a really good kind of out of tune sound with anything. If you're doing like pianos, if you use a chorus effect, you want to have the depth all the way up. So you want to have the depth as high as possible, and you want to have a little bit of modulation, or the frequency modulation or whatever, depending on what chorus it is. It'd be different. And if it's studio, it's the frequency of the LFO. And you want to have like a low rate, pretty much. So pretty much a low rate. So you want a high depth but a low rate, and that would kind of give it that kind of out of tune state. And the good thing about FL Studio's chords, you have 3 different LFOs to mess with, so I just kind of made them all kind of slightly off a little bit, and I have a really high depth, and that's really all I mess with, and that gives it that out of tune sound. So if I play it without it, see, it just sounds like it's going out of tune, which is good, because we're trying to have like that vintage kind of sample sound. So if you can do, then I threw on some reverb, of course, Pro R, nothing special there. Any reverb work, just give some space. Because a lot of old school sound that they use spring reverbs and all that old school reverbs and stuff like that techniques. This just gives stuff more of a live feel. And a lot of times they recorded stuff all in the same area, and all the microphones will be picking up other sounds, so you have that kind of natural reverb effect of the room and all that. So it's a good thing to do when you're doing that. Next, I had this pad from the Jupiter 8, VST from Arturia, the Jupiter 8V. I just picked like the Jupiter 8 is it's an old school synth, so it went perfect. I just picked like this ambient pad sound, nothing special there. And that's just a little bit of texture, pretty much. And those are the chords right there if you want to copy the chords. And it does add that texture to the sound, pretty much. And I didn't do nothing but do a little high pass, like I said, a little bit of low pass to cut the highs, you know, same thing there. See, so far, very simple. And then I picked another pluck, this time from the Jupiter 8 plugin. It's called Broken Dreams. It's a pluck, and it sounds like this. But you can do that. It's just basically a square wave pluck, so you can do it with any plugin. It's just a square wave pluck with a little bit of pulse width modulation on the LFO to kind of mess with the pulse width of the square wave. So if you want to do another DAW or another another synthesizer, just like I said, just LFO, just modulate the the pulse width of the square wave if it has a square wave with some pulse width on it. And I put a little Pro R on it, of course, to get some chorus. But reverb effect to make it just sound bigger and, you know, better. And that's pretty much it for the sounds. Like I said, I want to keep it very simple because lo-fi hip hop is not too complex from what I've heard, the stuff I listen to. Very simple sounding, which is good. So. And we're already getting kind of that kind of broken up effect, that kind of broken effect. So, you know, before I add my processing to the end, you know, it already starts to sound like it's breaking apart and falling apart in the mix, which is good. Next, I made a bass sound, which was an Icarus bass. It's nothing but a sine wave. That's all it is. Just a sine wave. That's it. And I use that as my bass, so. And we can take some of that click off of it real quick. Take a little bit of that click off. It's nothing but a sine wave, just a basic sine wave to get it. It's a sub bass. That's all it is. Simple sub bass. You can use 3X oscillator, serum, silent, whatever. But it's just, that's all it is. It's a straight sine wave. Don't worry about this compressor. This compressor is actually just my side chain, which I'll talk about that later. But yeah, that's all that is right there. That just kind of gives it the kind of that, you know, sound. I didn't want to use a real bass. You can use a real bass. It might sound better, but I decided to go with a sub bass instead. So. And that just gives that bass line, you know, you want that bass line to kind of drive the rhythm. All right, let's get to the drums now. Now, the drums are all these lo-fi. It's from a lo-fi sound kit I found. And they're just, you know, sampled lo-fi kicks and stuff like that. Very simple. So we got this first kick drum. And I am adding some compression to it because I want it to be even more squashed. And in my previous video, I show you how to set up a compressor and also talk about compressor. I did the same methodology right here and just made it to where I wanted to squash the sound and make it sound, you know, more broken up. Because like I said, lo-fi is all about having low fidelity. So you want it to sound as, you know, like it's, you know, being destroyed and stuff like that. Because I mean, that gives it that sound, you know. So without it, I mean, you can't really tell. It's slightly there, but you can tell a little different. So this is like all up in your face, like too crisp and clean for me. Then with the compressor. Matter of fact, we can add a little bit more release, and that should squash it more. And then add some more ratio. There we go. And that's just kind of squashing it down a little bit. It's not doing no magical in your face compression. Oh my God, it made the kick drum sound fucking amazing. It's just something really simple. You don't even got to do this. I just did this, you know, to add more. Like I said, 'cause once I add more compression to it, it's all gonna fall together and be like, and really start getting destroyed. So that's why I did this. You know, that's just the way I did it. So, you know, you don't have to do it, but that's just me. Next up is the snare sound. So we listen to it. Same thing, add a little compression without it, with it. Like I said, right now you're probably thinking, oh my God, the compression, you can't really hear the difference while you do it. Like I said, once I add the master compression, all that compression is really gonna come out. You'll hear and you'll be like, oh shit, I see what you did there. That's just me personally. I said, you do it your own way. It's music. Do what the fuck you wanna do. A hi-hat. And how I did that is I had like these fast high ones right here. And then I had these really low ones down here. So I add these low notes, and they're not in the same timing, but I mean they're the same key. Well, not the same key; they're actually different keys. But so I have these regular low notes, and it has some high ones above it. It has some faster high ones, and then the regular, you know, as the low. So and that just kind of give it that kind of sound. I mean, you can use delay to do that, but that's what I did to get that kind of bounce to. So. Easy way to get some bounce right there. Just gave you a gem. Next up is this perk I found. And it just has a lot of fucking reverb on it. So, you know, nothing special there. This is a lo-fi perk, you know, it's all distorted, stuff like that. And let's say once you're adding all the drums, you get this. And I like that because it sounds like it's offbeat, but it's not really. Just the compression mixed with the fact that they're lo-fi sounds. It makes it sound offbeat and kind of realistic or kind of NPC like, and that's what I wanted. And it gives it that bounce. I mean, just yeah, woo, yeah, let go. You know, it just had that bounce to it. And like I said, once you start adding stuff like the piano and stuff like that, you get that beat. In the bass line, you get that. But, you know, and that pretty much makes the beat right there. But it still sounds too clean. It still sounds too clean, too modern sounding. And we say it's lo-fi. It's not meant to sound modern. So that's where my vinyl strip plugin come in. Now, you can use vinyl strip. You can use the free iZotope thing. It's called Vinyl by iZotope. It's free. Go to the website, download it. I highly recommend it if you don't want to pay money for this one. There's other VSTs. There's probably a couple other free and paid ones. I know there's a new one out. I can't think of the name of it, but it does the same thing as this. So I mean, there's all kind of stuff that does this. The reason I like this one is because it has, unlike the vinyl plugin from iZotope, this has compression and distortion and reverb and some other stuff in it. Really, the vinyl one just has this vinyl strip right here. It just has this part right here, which if that's what you need, you need it. But I like the fact that it has extra stuff, and you also can rearrange it how you want to, so you can get a different sound just by rearranging just a little bit. So keep that in mind. But yeah, what I did to it, add some compression to it, because the compression is gonna definitely give it some sound. I'll turn it on so you can actually hear it. Now you can start hearing all the sounds start coming out, getting fuller, getting more punchier, more, you know, broken apart. And that's a good thing about this, you know, because I said once all them little bitty compression settings on the drums and stuff come out, the master compression is gonna make it just in your face. Then I add some drive to it, some distortion on some odd harmonics. So actually, I like on the even harmonics. You can hear it better on even harmonics. So nice. Add some reverb to give it some space and ambience, like, you know, like I said, like all the sounds were recorded in the same room. You can really hear it on the hi-hat and the snare. You can just hear that room. The EQ or the tilt EQ right here is just to either make it more treble heavy or more bass heavy. And since I'm, you know, me, I made it more bass heavy, of course. So you know, I had too much since I changed the even harmonics. It kind of exaggerated a little bit, so I had to bring it back a little bit. But you can see that, you know, that you can make it more, like I said, treble heavy or more bass heavy. So. Actually, more treble heavy sound better. That's what I like about this. You know, you get to see what they actually do back before I'm changing my mind as I go. So I like that. I like it more treble heavy. So we'll keep it like that. And then finally, the vinyl part of the thing of the plug-in to give it the vinyl strip, the vinyl sound. Got a little dust. You get to change the rate in the dust, so you had the breaking up bullshit, whatever. That sounds like some bitch sucking dick, but you know what I'm saying. Then I added some vinyl noise, of course. Added some wow and flutter, and that kind of modulates it over time, you know, and you can hear it going out of tune. And then you can also change the age of the record, so you can have a more of a modern sound or more of a vintage sound, which once again, it sounds really good, and I ain't messing with stereo. So I'll play around with the parameters so you can hear what they're doing, so you kind of get an idea. So. And that's where really the sound comes in. Once you put on a vinyl strip, you really hear that lo-fi sound. Without it, it just sounds too clean, too modern sound. It don't sound, you know, broken apart. But once you add that vinyl plug in, you get that breaking apart of the beat of the song, and it just gives it that kind of, you know, like it's been sampled over and over and over, or processed over and over and over through different, you know, bit rates and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just the whole thought process of that. And that's why I like this plugin, because like I said, you can really get that sound. Even if you're not going for the lo-fi sound, it's great on vocals and stuff like that, and you do some crazy stuff with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's just my take on a simple lo-fi type of beat. Any suggestions, help me out. I mean, if anybody else make that, I love to hear your stuff, hear what you got. Like I said, definitely check out other people, because other people do a lot better than me. I'm still learning it, and I'm still experimenting with it, and hopefully I can do more videos of this and get, you know, my craft a lot better due time. You know, hopefully I'll do a sample version where I actually sample the beat and make a beat off a sample, because that'd be better. This was like a made from scratch one, but you know, most lo-fi stuff is sampled. You know, it ain't gotta be, but you know, it's what it is. I don't like sampling because I can't sample. Just saying. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Like always, y'all know who it is. It is your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. Not motivated by the money, but the like, comment, subscribe, and views. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. And guess what? I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one, everybody.